I don't know how long this will go. I don't really have it timed out tonight. I can tell you we'll be out in plenty of time, and we're not really going to do much in the way of small groups tonight. But I'm more interested in really your heart and you keying in on what I believe outside of your personal relationship with Jesus Christ. Now, hear me. Outside of your personal relationship with Jesus Christ, I believe the next most important decision that you will ever make on this planet is who you spend the rest of your life with. People don't put enough stock in this decision. I understand that you're junior high, some of you are senior high, and some of you are in college now. But even if you're in junior high, if you do not determine right now what God's will is for your life, and you don't listen to the right source, it will radically impact your life for the rest of your life. I have been in ministry for going on 25 years. And I have, in that period of time, not only counseled, but seen many, many people who made wrong decisions early in regards to relationships go through regret, have battles they never needed to have. Some of them pulled through and made it, and others of them ended in disaster. Now, the good news is, it doesn't matter what you think God can redeem. He can make good on any mistake we make. He can make it up. He can redeem, just like Rahab, right? Rahab didn't make the greatest decisions early in her life, but at some point in time, she decided to what? What did he say? Baby got what? Book, right? I don't know that I'll ever forget that. At some point in time, she decided that it was going to be God that she would look to and follow, and he redeemed her past, and her future was incredible. So even if right now you'd say, man, I've already been in some relationships that maybe I shouldn't have been in. I've already done some things that I wish I hadn't done. God can take you tonight and he can redeem all of that, and he can set you on a path. If you determine that you're going to walk his way, he can set you on a path tonight, and your destiny can be incredible. And that's what he wants for you. That's what I want for you. That's what every pastor here wants for you. We will tell you the truth, and we will speak the truth to you because we care about you. Or maybe you would say, I don't know, is there anybody here, you'd just say, hey, I'd rather just go home and whatever happens, happen. And if I screw it all up, it's okay, no big deal. I don't need any advice. Would you rather go that route, or would you rather say, I'd like to really know what God says about this? Because I believe the next 80 years of my life, if you live that long, can you imagine being with the same person for maybe 75 years? Don't you want to know that it's the right person? Yeah? That's a long time if it's the wrong person, I'm telling you. I'm going on 25 years in March is my 25th wedding anniversary. I know that's very difficult to believe considering I'm only 30. It would be like, oh, he got married at 5. But for real, I'm going on 25 years in March, and my wife and I have always had this I don't think it's really a joke. I say running joke, but it's not in a sense, because we know, we've done the math. My grandpa is currently 98 years old, and his wife is 90. His second wife, because his first wife passed, but his second wife is even 90. And so if we did the math, if I make it to 96, I believe, we can hit 75 years of marriage together if we both make it that long. I'm telling you right now, you want to know for sure it's God's will before you are in a relationship for 75 years. Otherwise, it could be bad. It could be bad, but you made a covenant for a week, or you make a covenant for what? Till death do you. How many have been to a wedding? How many have heard that statement over and over again? Till death do you. Who can tell me some of what they are? What are the things that we do? We have vows. In what? Sickness and in health. So that means, wow, if something goes wrong in the physical body of my husband or wife when we get married. I know you're like, Pastor Brett, you're talking about marriage tonight. I am. Because we talk about dating and we've run all around that, but the end result is faster than you know. I'm going to be looking at you and possibly marrying you. Why? Because I have done it a ton of times. I have watched my students grow up and I have married them. And it happens in a blink of an eye. And if you do not determine right now what that looks like, I don't care if you're in 7th grade. I don't. If you're a senior, it's going to happen. You got to determine right now what it's going to be like, because you're going to spend the rest of your life with them, and you're making a covenant before God in sickness and in health. So if you're great and everything's fine, awesome. You're going to have 75 years of rollerblading. Maybe, if you rollerblade. But if not, it could be, as my grandpa watched my grandma go through cancer after cancer, yet he loved her until she passed. It could happen in sickness and in health. What's another one? For richer or for poorer. Come on, how many are going to sign up for that one? Everybody's like, yes, for richer, I'm good. Richer is awesome. But what if it's not richer? What if you have just enough money between the two of you, or maybe you decide only one's going to work and one's going to be at home? I don't know what you're going to decide. But what if that looks like we can only afford a $75,000 house, which now would be a cheap house. And all we can afford is that, and we don't have any extra money, and this is no fun. Because the world is about getting what? More and more and more and more. But what if you have to settle for poor even though you want to be richer? Or maybe you don't even know what to do with rich. Because you can have a lot of money and lose everything when it comes to relationship. You want to know how I know? Because I've watched it happen. It's kind of like this. I'll give you some scenarios I've seen. I've seen people come in to my office and I begin to counsel them on relationships. And here's what happens inevitably. A guy and a girl come. In fact, why don't you guys come up here real quick? This will be fun. All right, yeah, go ahead and grab your chairs here real quick. Yeah, go ahead and just bring them right up here. Yeah, this is going to be fun.
I didn't sign up for this.
Let's start here. What is the guy's name that you're currently about ready to thinking about marrying?
Noah Belt.
Noah Belt. Great. She knows your name. That's good. What is the young lady's name?
Julia Headington.
Julia Headington. So we're off to a good start. But I assure you, in the world that we currently live in, people jump into things in one night. And they don't even know who they're getting in bed with, quote. Do you know what I'm saying? That doesn't necessarily have to be a physical thing, but it can be. and they jump into something and they don't even know who that person is. They don't even know their name. Can you believe that would ever happen? It happens every day. They come into the parking lot. I'm like, there they are. They're about ready to come in for counseling. This is going to be awesome. And they come through the door, and I've got a couple chairs that are, for them to sit in. And instead of sitting, and they're big, oversized chairs. And instead of sitting in one chair and the other person in the other chair, they actually sit in the same chair. Come on, just get your chairs closer together. Because they love each other so much. And they just jump in the same chair. I'm like, wow, you guys must really like each other. I mean, this relationship thing is going well, right? Like everything's perfect. So like, how long you been together? And they'll be like, oh, we've been together 3 months. I'm like, cool. When are you thinking about getting married? Next month. What? So I'm like, so dude, do you have a job? Well, I don't have a job yet, but I've got an interview. And listen, the bottom line is we just love each other so much after 3 months. We just love each other so much that it doesn't matter. I mean, we'll make it anyway. We'll make it on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That's how much we love each other. And well, you only have one car. Now, are you both working? Well, we hope to work, but right now we have just the one car. But actually we're borrowing that car right now because our other car is broke down. And so how is this going to work? How's this going to happen? It doesn't matter because we just love each other.
Let the Spirit move.
We love each other. And that is so cool. Because if you listen to the radio, I think Pastor West talked about Taylor Swift, right? Taylor Swift don't know jack about love, right? Because actually she only dates so they break up so she can write the next song. Let's be honest. That's what happens with Taylor Swift. She doesn't know anything about a relationship. If Taylor Swift, guys in this room, if Taylor Swift ever comes up to you and says she wants to date you, you run. Because you will be the breakup a week later and she will make $1 billion off the song she writes about you. Same couple. Everything's good. I'm like, well, listen, I think we should take some time. I think we should walk through this. I think you need a job now before you get married. Where are you currently living? Do you have your own place? Do you have your own apartment? No, I actually live with my mom. I actually live with my parents. How old are you? 30. What? And so what you're saying is it's okay. You're planning on living with your parents when you first get married? Well, yeah, they said we could. Guys, listen, you think I'm making this stuff up? I have heard this stuff. People jump into relationships and they don't even know. They have no clue. Their answer is, we love each other. We love each other. Okay, let's fast forward. Okay, you guys head back out of here and then come in just a second. So now let's fast forward. They went ahead and got married. I said, I don't think this is a good plan. I think we should wait. I think we should get some things together. I think God needs to be at the head and center and all around your relationship. And let's wait on this because I think you're jumping the gun. And so let's fast forward. All of a sudden, our couple is now married. They've been married for a good 6 months. And 6 months later, I hear this car enter the parking lot. And they come on in the door. And one is, I've actually got the chairs really close together this time. Oh, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. One sits there and one sits there. And I'm like, Wow, what happened? Did you didn't get a job? No, actually, I did actually get a really good job. I got a job at Sprint. I got a job at Sprint, and within the first 6 months, I had closed 150 lines. And I ended up getting $80,000 worth of bonuses. I made the most money that the company has ever seen. I mean, we've got money. My wife snagged a job, and she's making good money. In fact, we already purchased a home. And not only did we purchase a home, we've got TVs in every room. And in 6 months, we actually bought 2 pets. We've got a dog and a cat. We've got everything we need. But we hate each other. Whoa, what? You mean you've got a job, you're not living with your parents anymore, you've got everything together, I mean the money's in the bank, things are happening well, and you hate each other? I thought you loved each other. Love? We love each other. We can make it through anything. And yet, because we didn't do it the right way, because it was a pseudo-love, it was a world love, it was a fake, phony. I heard it in the music, I saw it on the movies, because it always goes well in the movies, right? Come on, there's some girls in here, and if you're a guy in here and you raise your hand right now, that's probably not a good thing. But there's some girls in here for sure. You live for the chick flick. And at the end of the chick flick, you can't wait because you know you're going to be streaming with tears because this beautiful relationship. Some of you actually get choked up because of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. Because at the end, you actually think that a girl that makes out with 47 guys inside of a month is going to develop a really tight relationship that's going to go the distance. No, that's why for 20-some years now, or however long it's been, the next bachelorette is the one who was left empty in the end. Right? Same way with the guys. Because we have this version in our minds of all we need is love. And that's not all you need. There's way more than to it. Give it up for our great examples. And by the way, I believe you're going to have a stellar marriage.
This is a fictional story.
This was totally fictional. Nothing here was true. I threw that in there for fun. To be blurred is to be unclear or to be hazy, not to be able to see. And when you listen to the world and you listen to music and you listen to movies and you listen to those people in your life that do not base their decisions on God's way, it will leave you in the end in a spot to where you cannot see what's real and what's not real and what's right and what's not right. You will have blurry vision when it comes to your relationships. The last thing the enemy wants for you in this room, guys and girls both, the last thing the enemy wants for you is clarity of mind. He does not want you to see clearly. If he can get you to be blurred, he can lure you into a relationship because you can't quite tell anyway. Maybe it's good. I don't know. Can't totally see. Matthew 6:33 says, "Seek the kingdom of God above all else and live righteously and give everything to him, and he will give you everything what? That you need," right? Seek first the kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be added into your life. So should you be seeking your relationship with a guy or girl first? Yes or no?
No.
Who should you seek first? God and his kingdom. And when you seek his kingdom, then he will bring into your life the things that you need. But sometimes we can't wait. We're too anxious. We got to get into that love relationship. Romans 12, 1 and 2 says this, and so, dear brothers and sisters, so that's guys and girls, and so, dear brothers and sisters, I plead with you to give your bodies to God because of all he has done for you. He says, I plead with you, give your bodies to God because of all that he's done for you. Let them be a living and holy sacrifice, the kind he will find acceptable. This is truly the way to worship him. Do not copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Everybody say that with me. Change the way I think. Say it again. I'm going to change the way I think. Really, that's what you're doing every time you come into the house of God and you begin to study his word. The culture thinks differently than the way God thinks, yes or no? Do you find that some things that are taught at schools are different than what God thinks? Okay, so the only way to be on God's page is to think the way that God thinks, correct? Okay, so listen, watch this. Let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you. How many think it would be cool? I mean, let's just throw it out there. How many think it would be cool if right now God told you tonight who your future husband or wife was going to be? How many think? He just like, bam, here it is. You all walk out of here and it's like, I know who my husband's going to be. And it's everything you ever dreamed of. That would be cool, wouldn't it? To know his will, his perfect will. Guys, right now you'd be like, yeah, there she is. She's a beauty. Come on, man. I know, don't lie to me. I know you guys have thought about who that beautiful girl and you know who she's going to be. What if you knew tonight who it was going to be? That'd be crazy to know his will. Listen, if you want to know God's will for you, his pleasing and perfect will, then you have to seek him first. You have to change the way you think. And the world says this, hey, date whoever you want to date whenever you want to date them. It's not a big deal. Try it. If you don't like it, try somebody else, right? Isn't that kind of what's happening now? Whatever feels good, do it. Just do it. Who cares? It's not a big deal. No, I promise you, it's a huge deal. Because one relationship, I think you already heard that, one relationship can alter your destiny in the wrong way forever. But the enemy, he wants to blur things so you can't see. Listen, do not trade your long-term destiny for your short-term desire. I'm going to say it again. That's probably a good one to write down. Do not trade your long-term destiny for short-term desire. Every one of you will face it at some point. Satan will put something in front of you, just like another couple in the Bible that you may have heard about in the Blurred Lines series. Right? Adam and Eve, huh? They had everything. Perfection. Adam was the perfect created man. Ladies, how many want the perfect man? Guys, Eve was the perfect woman. Perfect. Perfect woman. And they were together in a gorgeous, awesome garden that didn't need mowed. It had no mosquitoes. And that's important because they were both naked. You heard what I said. They were flat out naked.
I couldn't hear you. Sorry.
And how many know you don't want mosquitoes if you're walking around naked? Right? They had the perfect scenario. And they ruined it for what? That sounds like a logical decision. A piece of fruit. And we gave all that away. Why? Because Satan tempted them and they allowed their vision to become blurred. And what did they do? They gave away their long-term destiny for short-term desire. You might have heard about a guy named Samson during this series. Do you think he may have done the same thing? Oh, well, look at that beautiful woman. Well, Samson, tell me what your strength is. Not that she would lie to him at all, but he was so blinded by beauty that he gave up his long-term destiny for what? Short-term desire. Don't think if Adam and Eve faced it, and Samson faced it, and numerous other people, maybe a guy named King David, what did he do? There she is, bathing on a roof. I'm king, and so what I'm going to do is follow through on this short-term desire, and it's going to radically alter my long-term destiny. What would Adam and Eve's life be like right now had they decided, I'm not going to chase the short-term desire? What would it be? They'd still be naked, living in the garden in perfection with a whole lot of kids. And their kids, listen, watch this. It's not even about them. Because of their choice to act on short-term desire, it not only altered their destiny, but it altered the destiny of their children and their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren, all the way up to right now where we're sitting here in a Tuscany Event Center, and I'm looking at you. It's altered everybody's life all the way up to now. And you have a decision to make tonight. Am I going to listen to the music and watch the movies and base my desire on what the world says? Or am I going to let him transform my mind and the way I think so I can know what his will, his perfect and his pleasing will is for me? I don't know about you, but I think it's time we break the curse, right? Actually, it's already been broken. You just got to receive it. All you got to do is receive it. You got to make a decision tonight that says, I am not willing to sacrifice the destiny he has for me for something short term. And you may think, you know what, we'll just go out for a few weeks. I promise you, a few weeks can all of a sudden get you emotionally tied up. And when you get emotionally tied up with someone, then you start getting blurry. You don't think correctly. You may think it's harmless, but so did Adam and Eve. So did Samson. Samson hadn't, I promise you, he never in a million years thought he was going to be duped to the point where his hair was going to be cut off and he was going to lose his vision and his strength. What did he lose? His vision and his strength. When you give in to short-term desire, you will lose your vision. You will not be able to see. And then you'll jump into something that will take all of your strength. Men, you think I'm just talking to the ladies. I promise you I'm not. You get into the wrong relationship with a woman who does not love God, they will zap you of all your strength. And you will be saying, how in the world did I get into this situation? I know. You're like, no, that's years away. Oh, no, I promise you it's not. You cannot sacrifice your destiny for something short term. And I'm going to tell you something. If you settle for someone who isn't chasing Jesus, this is guys and girls, but girls, I really want this to sink into your heart right now. If you settle for someone who is not chasing God, you settle for a man, well, he's good looking. So what? He's going to be ugly someday. I promise you, that good looking guy who may have a six-pack right now, after they marry you, more than likely within a few years, they will not have that six-pack anymore. They'll have a 24. But you won't be able to see the 24-pack because it's going to be covered by a bunch of other stuff. They won't look the way they look now. And let me tell you something. If you don't find a guy who is chasing Jesus, there will come a day, mark my words, there will come a day when they will stop chasing you. Because here's what they see. Oh, she's beautiful. Oh, man. If I could just be with that girl for my whole life, that would be awesome. Because she's beautiful. He don't know anything else about you except for he thinks you're beautiful. He thinks your outside appearance is everything, and man, she's just beautiful. And he doesn't care. He's as shallow as a mud puddle. Shallow, that's what he is. He's just looking at your outside saying, man, I want to be with that girl. And he'll chase you. Maybe he's debonair to actually bring you a rose and say, hey, baby, come on. I love you. I wouldn't have bought this $3 rose at Come and Go if I didn't. That cost me a lot of money. I had to pick up pop cans for a week. He'll pursue you and pursue you until he gets out of the relationship what he wants in the relationship. If he is not pursuing God, when he has what he wants out of you, he will stop pursuing you. But a man who's a lover of God and chases God will chase you the rest of your life. How many would rather have a relationship where your husband said, I still love you? 20 years into it, maybe you don't look like you did when you were standing at the altar, right? In that beautiful gown, and you starved yourself for 3 weeks just to get into it. You're all made up in the hair, and it's all good, and it's the perfect moment. And 6 months later, 20 years later, you couldn't even dream of getting into that dress. Maybe you could. Maybe you got a metabolism that works. I don't. What's so funny about that? And wouldn't it be cool that even if you didn't fit into the dresses you fit into when you were pursuing that relationship, that he still looked at you? In fact, he looked at you and said, you know what? You are more beautiful to me now than ever before. Wouldn't that be cool? Why? Because he's not looking at the outside. He's been chasing God, which has changed his inside, which causes him to look at you in a different way. When his insides are changed, he only is interested in your insides. Come on, that's a cool thing. When his heart is transformed, all he's interested is in your heart. And he loves you. He pursues you because he pursues God. Men, I'm going to get to you in a little bit. If you do not determine right now what you won't settle for. Now watch. If you do not determine right now what you won't settle for, you will settle for something and you won't even know it. You have to write. If I was you right now, I would start making a list. That doesn't mean it's all going to happen the exact way you think it's going to happen, but I would start writing down things right now, ladies and men. I would write some things down that you say, I am not going to settle for anything less than this. Number one, he better pursue God. If that is anywhere else except for the top, you are headed for a disaster. You will have heartache, I promise you. I hate to see it happen. I have seen it happen so many times. I've seen women and men crushed. You wouldn't think a guy could be crushed, but I've watched it. But I've seen a whole lot of young ladies crushed because they did not make a God pursuer the top of the list. And then they wonder why he picked another girl. Because he wasn't pursuing God. He was pursuing his own stuff, his own desires. You make a list, ladies. Make a list now of what you believe you need in a man. Someone who pursues God. I don't know what the rest of your list is going to be. Somebody who's faithful. Somebody who tells me the truth. Somebody who talks with me. You want to know what one of the biggest problems with relationships today is? This texting thing, guys, I'm telling you right now. I mean, if it's once in a while, great. But you should be on the phone or face to face with the person that you are interested in way more than that you are texting. And we have a whole generation that is building a long-term life choice relationship off of this. And you know nothing about that person. It's dangerous. And it's blurry. Right? It's blurry. What does that mean? Oh no. He must be mad at me. He hasn't responded for 35 minutes. You know? Yeah. Listen, guys have no clue what kind of punctuation to use. All the time, listen, I'll text something back to somebody, and my girls will say, Dad, you can't do it like that. They're going to think you're mad. Or, Dad, you can't do it like that, or they're going to think you don't care. I'm like, that's why I prefer the old-fashioned method of, hey, how you doing? I care about you. Let's go do something. That's the method I prefer because I'm not going to mess that up. What are you going to settle for? Guys, you don't want a girl who's all looks and has no other substance to their life. Because when the looks change, and I assure you they will, you will have nothing left of your relationship and it will be over now. You need to find someone that God has destined for you that can walk with you and encourage you and build you up, that you can walk with them and encourage them and build them up. You want someone that has substance in their life. Beauty only lasts so long. Oh, we'll get there. See, like Rahab, even though she made some mistakes, she decided that she was going to go the right direction, and God redeemed that. But what would happen if you made a decision tonight to say, I'm going to follow him now. I'm going to seek first the kingdom now. I'm going to study and I'm going to learn how God thinks so my mind can be remade so I can make the right decisions now. I can know what his perfect will is. What if you did that tonight? What if because of this series that you thought, you know what, it was just a 5-week series at church. What if because you came and you listened and you acted on it, you set a precedent for the rest of your life that would not only keep you happy with the husband or wife that you find and you live a fulfilling, wonderful life, but your kids did too. We have an epidemic in America, young people. When I was in high school, which was quite a while ago now, most of my friends had moms and dads that were together. I graduated in 1990, so 1985, I would have been in junior high. How many years ago is that? It's a lot. Like 31. That's sickening. Watch out, Avi.
You're about to turn 30.
Yeah, you're about.
I got a year.
Yeah, you're going to turn 30, boy. Listen, 31 years ago, the majority of my friends had moms and dads who were still together. And now, today, when I speak to young people, it doesn't matter where I go, and I ask them, how many have families that have went through some kind of brokenness or maybe even divorce? And generally, it's every bit of 60% that have faced that. Now, here's the deal. If you decide, and men, you need to set the precedent. You need to start deciding, I'm not going to jump the gun. I'm going to be the man of God He's created me to be, and I'm going to have a household that's founded on Christ Jesus so we can stop this thing. What if you decided, instead of like Adam and Eve, who chose a short-term desire and gave up their long-term destiny, what if you decided right now during this series that I'm not going to forfeit my destiny? And I'm going to find the right one, and I'm going to wait until I do. I'm not going to jump into a relationship that's not worth it. I'm not going to get emotionally tied in to something that could destroy me. Because if you'll do that, if you'll make that decision, not only will you have a marriage that will last, but your children will see a marriage that will last. You want to know why America's in the shape it's in now? Because there's a whole generation, several generations actually, that have watched divorce destroy their homes. And so many of those same kids, I mean, it's life, it happens. Unfortunately, it happens. But you've got a whole bunch of young people now that they are so messed up in their thinking about what relationship is. Well, if that happened to them, it'll probably happen to me, and I don't know if I want to deal with that. So maybe I should just live with this person, and if it feels right, then eventually we'll get married. And maybe we just need to try this whole thing out because it's just, I don't want that to happen to me. Blurred lines. They can't see that that's the wrong way to do it. But what would happen if your kids and grandkids, I know you're like, wow, Pastor Britt's now way out there in the future. But what would happen if your kids and grandkids saw a mom and dad who loved God with all of their heart and made the right decisions? Maybe they would say, that's how it's done. Come on. That's how it's done. I want a marriage like mom and dad. What if we determined in this room right now that you were going to break that curse and you were going to save yourself a lot of heartache? Would you prefer heartache? How many would prefer heartache? Let's go. Come on. You just prefer it. You put your hand down before I break it. Hey, I'm not as good as I was when I was in high school, but I got a good 60 seconds, dude. I've got a good 60 seconds before I run out of air. Come on. What would it be if we said, we want clarity, God. We do not want blurred lines anymore. I want to see, I want to see, I want to see. Don't believe what the world says. Listen, God will bring you the right person. Now, this is where I'm going to start talking to guys a little bit. It's going to be really weird because you're like, how is that possible? Oh, crud. God will bring you the right person, but you must first focus on being the right person. Now, listen to this. I'm going to blow through this, but I want you to get it. God will bring you the right person, guy and girl. But a lot of the times we go searching for that right person. If I just find the right person, you need to start by becoming the right person. Focus on your relationship with Jesus Christ. Pursue him, date him, love him, care about him, and I assure you, you will be ready when the time comes. And here's the thing, when you're pursuing God, someone who isn't pursuing God will not even look good to you anymore. Now you think I'm kidding. You'd be like, I promise you, you can really tell your taste by how you live. I can promise you, young people, if you're madly pursuing God, you will not lower your standards to someone who isn't pursuing God. When you get in love with Jesus and you say, I am not going to settle for anything less than somebody's pursuing him because I don't want them to stop pursuing me. Hey guys, I promise you, a girl who isn't pursuing God will leave you just as fast for another guy. This is not about girls being left by guys. How you pursue him will determine what you settle for. Proverbs 31. Guys, I want to speak to you just a little bit. This is going to be so funny. I want to speak to you out of Proverbs 31, men. Who can find a virtuous and capable wife? We're speaking to you. She is more precious than rubies. This is what you should be, guys. Her husband can trust her, and she will greatly enrich his life. She brings him good and not harm all the days of her life. She finds wool and flax and busily spins it. Come on. Ladies, you got a lot to live up to here. Right? Guys, you're looking for that perfect woman. How many want a woman that could do all that for you, right? How many think it'd be cool to have a woman just make you breakfast every morning? Come on. You don't? You just like, I'll make my own? Microwave it? Man. Ladies, we got low standards over here. Seriously. Seriously. I mean, if I wake up in the morning, I want sausage, eggs, and stuff on the table. And bacon, both. Man, that'd be cool if my wife could whip that up for me every morning. I wake up. She could just make me my clothes. She's like a merchant ship bringing her food from afar. She gets up before dawn to prepare breakfast for her household, and she plans the day. She goes to inspect the field. She buys it. Guys, you can just sit back and do nothing. Come on. How many know that would be awesome? Just sit back and let the ladies do it all. Ladies, you like that? No? What? Oh, come on. I'll do breakfast, but I ain't. She's like, I'll do breakfast, but I ain't doing the rest of that. She's energetic. She's strong. She's a hard worker. She makes sure dealings that are profitable. Her lamp burns into the night. So she gets up early, she stays up late, and she gives you a back rub right before you go to bed. She extends a helping hand to the poor, arms to the needy. She makes her own bedspreads. Her husband's well known at the city gates where he sits, and she makes belted garments, and she is clothed with strength and dignity. She laughs without fear. When she speaks, her words are wise. She gives instruction and kindness. She carefully watches everything in her household. She suffers nothing from laziness. She's not lazy. Her children stand and bless her. Her husband praises her. There are many virtuous and capable women in the world, but you surpass them all. He's saying to her, you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty does not last, but a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised. Rewarded for all she has done, let her deeds publicly declare her praise. Guys, listen, that's a huge list for a woman, right? Ladies, do you think that's a little bit unfair?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean? Now, guys, listen, as much as we think we're looking for that perfect woman, ladies, the standards for the man you look for are just as high. In fact, watch this. Ephesians 5:25 says this, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church, and he gave himself up for her. Do not settle for a man who does not love you like Christ loved the church. And what did Christ do for the church, ladies? What did he do for you? What did he do? He died for you. He gave up himself. He laid everything down for you, for the church. Men, listen, you need to look for a woman who is virtuous. You need to look for a woman who loves God because, again, I assure you, all of these qualities, and there's a lot here. Beauty eventually fades. All that stuff eventually goes away. But a woman who fears the Lord is greatly to be praised. A man who will lay down his life for his wife, just like Christ did for the church, is what we're talking about, right? All of these other qualities, I assure you tonight, if you don't make your first priority the clarity to see whether they love God with all of their heart, if you don't seek that first, you will have a relationship that will not stand the test of time. Do not give up your long-term destiny for short-term desire. If you're in a relationship now, and I know this sounds harsh, but I want you to listen to a pastor who desperately loves you, and I've seen this over and over and over again. If you're in a relationship now with someone who does not love God and is not pursuing God, you need to end it tonight. I promise you. Because if you don't, the breakup's coming and it will crush you at some point. Guys, it's coming and it will crush you at some point. That lady will choose another guy that she likes better, that looks better, that makes more money. Whatever that fulfills her need, she will look for in another man if she hasn't looked first to this man. But if she pursues him and his heart, her heart will be for you. If you pursue him and his heart. Ladies, don't settle. Write down the list. Do it. When you do it, don't stray from it. You wait. And when you wait, the Lord will bring to you the right person. I love you, and I'm proud of you. Make the right decisions. Trust him. Don't get in a hurry. There's plenty of time. There's 75 years. There's 75 years. But you want that to be with the person in sickness and in health, for richer, for poor, for better, for worse, till death do us part. Bow your heads. Father, I thank you for these incredible students. I thank you for what you have done in their lives. that they are here, that they love you, that they're seeking you. And I pray that even right now in this moment, that they would declare, I will never settle for a short-term desire and trade in my long-term destiny. That they would make a list, and at the top of that list is someone who pursues you. Because we know, God, when our heart is pursuing you, that is the only time we can truly find real love. Not a fake love, not a love that won't last, but a love that will stand the test of time. And even though it seems like a long ways away, there's some students in this room right now that they could be married in the next 10 years easy. Maybe 5. God, it's going to happen. And so I pray first and foremost, every student here will have a real personal relationship with you. And then as they pursue you, you will give them clarity. And any blurriness that the enemy would try to bring their way, that they would be able to see through that because they're seeing with your eyes. And their mind has been transformed. And they think differently. They don't think the way the world thinks, the way the music proclaims, the way the movies portray it. But God, they'll think the way you think. And they won't settle for anything less than your best. Those that may have tough decisions to make in the near future, maybe there's relationships that need to be cut off. Give them the strength to do that because their long-term destiny is worth it. And not only is their long-term destiny worth it, but the destiny of those who come after them. If you're here and you'd say, Pastor Brett, I really feel like God is speaking to my heart and he's showing me that I can't settle, and I am determining right now, tonight, that I'm not going to get in a hurry and I'm going to wait for God's person for my life to spend the rest of my life with. You really sense that he's speaking to your spirit. The Holy Spirit is calling to you to pursue him and not settle for anyone else who's not. If you sense that tonight, would you slip up your hand? I want to really pray over you. You're not going back. You're not going to settle. You're going to pursue God, and God is going to bring the right person your way. Maybe you have some relationships, or you're in a relationship that you're struggling with, and you know it's probably not the right relationship for you. I want to pray for you. Is there someone here that maybe you're saying, I've been in some relationships that have hurt me, and I need to let that go so I can find the right thing? Or maybe I'm currently in a relationship that I shouldn't be in. Would you lift up your hand? And I just want to pray God's healing in your heart. Thank you. Anyone else? Thank you. Anybody else? Need some healing so you can make the right decision. Father, I thank you for every student here, the ones that say, I'm making a decision tonight. I'm not going to walk with blurry vision, but I'm going to let you give me clarity, and I'm going to do it your way. I'm not going to settle for the short-term desire that would rob me of my long-term destiny. I thank you. I pray that over every student that raised their hand, that they sense that tonight. They're going to make that decision. They're going to wait for the right moment and the one that's pursuing you. And for those that have been hurt in their heart, God, will you heal them even now? And would you be their first love again? Would you be their first love? That they would know they can count on you, that you'll never leave them, you'll never forsake them, you're always there for them. And as they fall desperately in love with you, the day will come that you will find that right person. You will bring them that right person that will fall desperately in love with them. In Jesus' name. Everybody said, I love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening.